Hello my dear students, in this class I will teach you about decomposition reaction and its type. So as its name suggests, decompose, that means those reactions in which a single compound break to give two or more simpler substances are called decomposition reaction. That means decomposition reactions are those in which AB breaks down to give A plus B, or you can say that A, B, C breakdowns to give A plus B plus C. Okay, so it can be of any type. So as you can see that on the reactant side there will be always a compound, but on the product side it can be element or compound or both. Okay, so there can be element, compound, or both of them can be present on the product side, that you have to remember. So again, the decomposition reactions are again of three types. We will study about them one by one. The first type is, see here, the type 1 is thermal decomposition. So we will study this first type by the activity 1.5. So let's read the activity. Take about 2 gram of ferrous sulfate crystals in a dry boiling tube. Okay, you will take the ferrous sulfate crystal. They are also known as the green vitriol. Note the color of the ferrous sulfate crystal. So they will be green in color. Clear? Heat the boiling tube over a flame of a burner and or a spirit lamp as shown in the figure. Observe the color of the crystals after heating. It will become white. We have started with the green, but now it will become white. So you can see here we have to take the ferrous sulfate crystal. For the formula for the ferrous sulfate crystal is FeSO4.7H2O. So its chemical name is FeSO4 is ferrous sulfate and 7H2O is 7 is hepta and H2O is hydrate. So its complete name is ferrous sulfate heptahydrate. It is also known as the green vitriol. Clear? So when we heat it, we can also use the triangle symbol for the heat. So when we heat it, it will break down into ferrous sulfate and water will be separated out. So when water will evaporate from the ferrous sulfate crystal, their color will change from green to brown. Now if we continue the heating and further heat the ferrous sulfate crystals, what will happen? It will convert into Fe2O3, that is ferric oxide plus SO2 and SO3. Now ferrous sulfate was brown in color, but ferric oxide is reddish brown in color. So as you can see that we have used the heat in this reaction. So this reaction is a type of what? This is a thermal decomposition. So thermal decomposition reactions are those in which we use the heat to break down the reactant. Okay. The next one is so you can see here in this reaction we can observe that a single reactant break down to give the simpler product. So this is a decomposition reaction. Ferrous sulfate crystal, which is FeSO4.7H2O, lose water when heated and color of the crystal change, that I have already explained you here. You can see here that we start with the green color. When water get evaporated, it convert to brown. When we further heat, it convert from brown to reddish brown. Okay. It then decomposed to ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Ferric oxide is solid while SO2 and SO3 are gases, that you can see from the physical states of the products. Okay. Next one is decomposition of the calcium oxide. Now this is again an example of thermal decomposition. Okay. Thermal decomposition. So when the calcium carbonate decompose, what will happen? When we heat the calcium carbonate, it will convert to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this reaction is very important. Why? Because this is a very important reaction which is used in the industries, which is cement industry. ठीक है. So decomposition of calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide on heating is an important decomposition reaction used in the various industries. Calcium oxide that is formed here, it is called lime or quicklime. It has many uses. One is in the manufacture of cement. So when calcium carbonate decompose, it forms calcium oxide, and this calcium oxide is used in the manufacture of cement. So when a decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, it is called thermal decomposition. This is the definition of thermal decomposition. Okay. Now we have the third example of the thermal decomposition, which will be explained in activity 1.6. So they are saying take about 2 gram lead nitrate powder in a boiling tube. This powder is white in color. Okay. Hold the boiling tube with a pair of tongs and heat it over a flame. What do you observe? Note down the changes. Clear? So we can see here what we will observe. You will observe the emission of brown fumes, and these fumes are of nitrogen dioxide, and the reaction that take place is here. You can see here when lead nitrate. So you can see here how lead nitrate is formed. I have already told you the valency of lead is 2. Okay, Pb is 2 positive and nitrate is 1 negative. So when we cross it, it is PbNO3 twice. So when we heat it, it is in starting it is white color powder. So when we heat it, it will decompose to lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So we will get a residue which is left in the test tube, which is yellow in color, and we will also get the brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide that we can see here in this reaction. So when we will heat the test tube, here we will have lead nitrate which is PbNO3 twice. On heating, it will form lead oxide which will be left in the test tube. These fumes are of nitrogen dioxide, and these are brown in color. Okay, and oxygen will be colorless, that will also get evolved. Clear? The next is, see here, the next type of the decomposition reaction is electrolytic decomposition. This is type 2, electrolytic decomposition reaction, or this is also known as the electrolysis. As its name suggests, this is a decomposition reaction in which electricity is used to break down the component. So what is electrolysis or electrolytic decomposition? Those decomposition reaction in which are carried out using the electrical energy. So they are called those reactions are called electrolytic decomposition reaction or electrolysis. So see here activity 1.7. let's read it. Take a plastic mug, drill the 2 holes at its base and fit the rubber stopper in these holes. So these are your rubber stoppers, these 2. Insert the carbon electrode in these rubber stopper. These black, these are your carbon electrodes. Connect these electrode to a 6-volt battery. This is our battery. Take the 2 test tube filled with water and invert them on the carbon electrode. So these are our test tube that we have inverted. Initially they will be completely filled with water. Then switch on the current and leave the 1 minute. Add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the water. Now why we are adding the dilute sulfuric acid to the water? To make the water conducting, because in lab we use distilled water which do not contain any iron. So to make the water conducting, we will add some sulfuric acid to it. Okay, now they are saying heat the mixture. Okay, so what will happen? We heat this water. You will observe the formation of the bubble at both the electrode. Now what will be the chemical reaction here? So if we pass the electricity through water, it will break down into hydrogen and oxygen. Clear? As you can see from the reaction, when two molecules of hydrogen will be broken, they will form, sorry, two molecules of water will be broken, they will form two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. So as you can see here, the amount of the hydrogen gas will be double, because here it is 2 and here it is 1. So as you can see, the amount of the hydrogen gas will be double formed as compared to the oxygen. So that you can also see here. Now this is given you hydrogen. You can see here that empty space which is created by the hydrogen gas, it is double as compared to the oxygen. You can see here very clearly. This is because when water molecule break, two water molecules break, they will form two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. So once the test tubes are filled with the respective gases, remove them carefully. Now we will remove these test tubes. Test the gases one by one by bringing the candle close to the mouth of the test tube. Now what will happen? The gas with double volume, which is our hydrogen gas, it burns with a popping sound. We all know this is the test for the hydrogen, whereas the other gas, which is our oxygen gas, so when we bring the burning candle near the oxygen gas, the size of the flame increase. Why? Because the oxygen support burning. So when we bring the test tube near the burning candle, the size of the flame will increase. Now they are asking which gas is present in each test tube. For that we must know the what is the nature of the gas. As you know, hydrogen ions are positive in nature, H positive, and oxygen is O2 negative. So here we have connected the battery, the terminal of the battery which is connected, the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal, that is called cathode, and which is connected to the positive terminal, that is called anode. As you can see that this is negative. So when the hydrogen will be formed here, it will be attracted toward this, because this is negative in nature, and oxygen, which is O2 negative, this is negative in nature, so it will be attracted toward positive. So as you can see, this is negative, so hydrogen is formed here, and this is positive, that's why oxygen is formed here. So you can say that hydrogen will be formed at cathode and oxygen will be formed at anode. Now a third type of decomposition reaction is photolytic decomposition reaction, or this is also known as the photolysis. The word photo is used for the light. Actually it is photon, which represent light. So from that we get photo word, which means light. Okay, so these are those decomposition reactions which are carried out by the light energy. So in this reaction we will use light energy to break down the reactant. So let's start with the activity 1.8. Take about 2 gram silver chloride in a china dish. What is its color? Its color is white. Place this china dish in sunlight for some time. Now what will happen? Observe the color of the silver chloride after some time. So when we put the silver chloride in sunlight, okay, this is our sunlight. So when we put the silver chloride in sunlight, it will broken down into silver and chlorine gas. Chlorine gas will be evolved, and here we are only left with silver, which is gray in color. So after the reaction is completed, you will find a gray color residue in the china dish. Okay, so again we have one more example here that you can see here. If we take silver bromide in place of silver chloride, the reaction will be same. Now the silver bromide is again white in color. When the sunlight is passed through the silver bromide solution, silver bromide powder, it will convert to silver and bromine. So we will again get gray color silver. Now these two reactions are very important. Why? Because these reactions are used in black and white photography. So one reaction we have also studied, that was calcium carbonate on heating give calcium oxide plus CO2. Now this reaction, the calcium oxide which is formed in this reaction, this is used in cement industry. Similarly, these two reactions that we have studied in photolysis, these are used in black and white photography. So these two reactions, which is calcium carbonate reaction and this silver chloride or silver bromide reaction, they are two very industrially important reactions. Okay, so now they are asking us a question. The above reaction are what form of the energy is causing this decomposition reaction? We have already studied there are three types of energy that we are using in this decomposition reaction. What are these three type of energy? Heat, light and electricity. If we are using heat, then it is a thermal decomposition. If we are using light, then it is a photolytic decomposition, and if we are using electricity, then it is electrolytic decomposition. So as you can see, we are using the energy either in the form of heat, light or energy. That means we are providing the energy. So the reaction in which we provide the energy, those reactions are called endothermic reactions. So what are endothermic reactions? Reaction in which the energy is absorbed are known as endothermic reactions. So if they ask you any example of endothermic reaction, you can write the example of any decomposition reaction that we have studied till now. You can give any example. Now there is again one activity. See here, they are saying take about 2 gram barium hydroxide in a test tube. This is our barium hydroxide, BaOH twice. Now how we can write the barium hydroxide? Barium is 2 positive, hydroxide is OH 1 negative. So when we cross it, we will get BaOH twice. Add 1 gram ammonium chloride. Now what is ammonium chloride? Ammonium is NH4 1 positive and chloride is Cl1 negative. So when we cross it, it will be NH4Cl. Now what will happen? Positive of barium, this will combine with chlorine. So this will form, you can see this is 2 positive, this is 1 negative. So Ba 2 positive and Cl 1 negative. When they will be crossed, we will get barium chloride. Okay, the NH4OH, it will further decompose and will give you water and ammonia. So what will happen in this reaction? They are saying, what do you feel? See here, touch the bottom of the test tube with your palm. What do you feel? Is this an exothermic or endothermic reaction? So what will happen when this reaction is completed? We will find that the ice will be formed outside the beaker or the test tube in which the reaction is carried out. Why? Because that reaction, this particular reaction is taking the energy from the atmosphere. So when it take the energy from the atmosphere become cool, or we can say the particle that are around the test tube or beaker, they will become cold. That's why we will see some ice outside the beaker or the test tube in which we are performing the reaction. So this reaction is very much endothermic. Okay, even if you do this reaction at 22 degrees Celsius temperature, which is our room temperature, the temperature of the reaction mixture, it will be minus 25 degree Celsius. That's why we will see some ice around the test tube or the beaker. So that's all for this class. Thank you.